guys, it's Val. Welcome back to Genshin Impact. I have to put this at the beginning because the first bit of footage that I recorded, I had my mic muted, so I was doing all this explaining and no one was hearing it. So essentially what I did is I went to Mondstadt to one of the domains and did the little requirements for the like reaction kind of thing. So it's like when one element works with another element, it creates a reaction, and it gives you required character, like it gives you trial characters to make it happen. So even if you didn't have them already, you get to use them in that moment. Most of them are the free characters anyway. But yeah, you do that, and then you just have to fulfill the requirements of that little thing to do that. So I'll speed up and put music for that moment, but after that, I finally realized that my mic was muted and continued from there. So anyway, enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed all that content with no voice because I didn't realize I had my mic off. Oopsie. Okay, so you saw that, all the different elements and reactions, yada yada yada. So the reason why I did that was, I mean, is that the Dust of Azoth. So it allows you to change, you know, elemental materials into other elements, essentially. So. Yeah, okay, so can't do much on this one right now. Guide, okay, nothing I can do there.
Boom booms and eyes, and boom booms and mouth. And I need to tighten up that part.
Okay, so it wants me to do a daily commission, so I'll log in. Open my mail. So gift 2 of 5, so it gives chicken tofu pudding, which is an offense buff, fragile resin, claim. Okay, selling more. Oh, it's because it's a new day, that's why it reset my daily commissions. Okay, so because my thing was messed up and I forgot to record my voice, I wanted to mention I did Yuming's boss, which is all the way in Fontaine, so that I could ascend him. I'm going to level him as much as I can, which is apparently only 43. That's not great. Yeah, I'm out of papers. I ascended Aether and brought him to 48. And those are the only ones I did. I did also go to Sumeru and grab this right here. I didn't show it because it's a sequence break. I don't want to be in that area yet because the thing with each area in the game, I think with the exception of like Mondstadt, well actually, no, I'll just stick with what I was going to say. Each area kind of has its own gimmick. So you have to be selective with how you go about things, especially if you don't want to sequence break anything on first go. Oh, you didn't even come up all the way yet. Silly. Get with the program. Gliding wind.
Good things come to those who wait.
There's so many Sealies. And we're not even in the area yet where they're big pain. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I'll leave that one. Yeah, so I mean, if it counts as a gimmick, a lot of the like chests and certain collectibles are blocked by wind currents in Mondstadt. So this one I should be able to get. You're actually able to climb these. I think it's like directly domains that you can't access. I'm gonna have to use the little floaty things. Maybe. Or maybe not. Aha!
Where do you want this stuff delivered to, boss?
Okay, so that was that. We're gonna quickly, oop, wrong, but we're gonna quickly go to, well, I mean, there's a thing in Mondstadt anyway, but I didn't collect my adventure rank rewards last time, so I'm gonna go do that. Because I think I went up 2 ranks after fighting Child and dealing with a deity and...
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly?
I'm recruiting new allies.
Is that so? Apart from your own skills, reliable teammates are also indispensable when adventuring. Another person to count on is always good after all. But recruiting such dependable companions is no easy matter, is it?
Yep, and it's even harder to get a guide as good as Paimon.
Ha!
Ah, yes. I do have some information that may be of help to you. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is. There's been a certain blonde stranger who arrived in Mondstadt lately, dressed in most unusual clothes.
Blonde. Dress is all funny. It feels like Paimon's heard this one before.
She's not talking about me.
Wait, do you mean
Could it be?
that stranger's face look anything like his?
Oh, right, sister. Forgot.
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This stranger is a very tall man, and even has an eye patch.
So, just some distant relative of Kaya's then.
Seriously? How does this have anything to do with Kaya? Eye patches can't prove that you're related anyway.
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relationship between him and Mr. Kaya. Nonetheless, you can look for him if you're interested. Perhaps he might accept your commission instead. After all, it is not uncommon for some adventurers to not want to be limited by the guild, but be happy to accept a fellow adventurer's requests. And should this stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey.
Sounds like a tough customer.
Please don't talk down on yourself like that. You are the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now.
Well, alright then, about that stranger.
Well, as to further news about him, you may want to ask Mr. Lawrence. He stands guard at the city gate, so he may know something about that stranger. I wish you every success, adventurer.
That's part of a quest I'm not starting yet.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
Yeah. Dispatch. Oh, now I can dispatch one additional person. So we're gonna, doesn't really matter who I set. I can go look for food now. And Lisa. The assholes have to do something.
Ad Astra.
Oh no, I did collect 29, okay. Well. More fragile resin, yay! But I don't care about any of that. We're going over here, yay! Okay. Crafty bench. Do this. We're going to create this using... Okay, this thing here shows that you can like switch it out with really any of them. So we're gonna switch it out with... Well, I have more of this one, so I only need to convert one, so it won't hurt. So yeah, you use one dust for pretty much all of this. I think it uses more if you use like a bigger item, but that don't matter. A skinned. Up you go, baby boy.
Germany.
I should have let you keep talking. Sorry. Oops. Claim my free fate. And I'll have to level him when I get stuff. Because I don't have stuff. Alright. So yeah, the thing Catherine was talking about has to do with something that I'm not doing. So, yeah. And collect my dailies while I'm here. I could do it, like, off camera, but I don't feel like it. I'll be doing a couple odds and ends, this part, and then the next two parts are gonna be Geoculus hunting. Because in Liyue, I mean, having max stamina does help, but I've proved that you don't absolutely need it. But in Inazuma, it's going to be a little bit tricky. How did I get blown up that high? What happened? Oh, it's you, Honorary Knight. How do you do? So it's like this. You must have seen that storm that surrounded the entire city, right? Although storm has subsided, the effects of the storm aren't going to be fixed anytime soon. Not a few merchants have said that signboards and posters that they put up outside have all gone with the wind. Some have ended up on the rooftops, others into the city walls. The knights originally intended to send 2 agile members to settle these issues with haste. I mean, besides helping citizens, we're also concerned that the things would look rather unbecoming hanging off the roofs and walls like that. But as it turns out, we're short-handed at the moment, so only I was sent. And with these knees of mine, even climbing stairs has become problematic recently. I can't imagine what would become of me if I had to climb up that high. Could you help me out of this bind, Honorary Knight? I've got something else. No, I'll do it. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Should have been my job, but you have weak knees. There should be 3 posters and 1 signboard now stuck on rooftops and on the city walls. Please bring those posters to me. As for the signboard, you can just leave it here on the ground. I'll have my colleagues pass it on to appropriate merchant. Again, thank you. You've really saved me. Not right now, I haven't. Lingering malady. Going into the church first, apparently. I don't want to help you! Traveler, over here, I've been watching you. What do you want? Come now, why the wary tone? Got a fine proposition for you. You're Fatui. Nothing about your propositions are going to be fine. How would you like to join the Fatui? You wish, isn't that right? I'll give it some thought. Hey, what do you mean you'll give it some thought? Shouldn't we be refusing right away? I mean, I would, but the dialogue wouldn't let me. You've got a good eye. If you want to do great things, there's no place like the Fatui. No. You guys are cartoon evil. Now, by the look of you, you must have a question, or you must have questions, yes? So, tell me about the Fatui. How very direct. This is quite the long story. But given that you're not yet an official member of the Fatui, I can't tell you either. I've heard that there are a lot of hilly trails around Mondstadt. Some have even huddled together into groups. Let's make a deal. You take a stroll outside and bring a trophy from the Meta Trail back for me, and I'll tell you a little story. How does that sound? Sure. Very straightforward. I like it. One hardly finds someone like you in Mondstadt. Hurry along, then. I'll be waiting for you here. Did I mention that you should hurry? No, Paimon, I'm not thinking of joining the Fatui. I said it as a joke, apparently. Stupid Paimon. I think there's like only one exception for the cartoon evilness of the Fatui, and I can't tell you what one that is. We're getting rid of you first!
Observe your grand finale!
To dust!
Yeah, you missed me. We're gonna have problems, my dude. Just give me a moment, because I need to climb, apparently. Ah! Oh, that was rude. Nope, that didn't work. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna just go over here so you can't give me pot shots. You're about to have the problems.
Right.
If I knew how to fucking aim. Great, great. Hee. Of course reinforcements were coming. I need to meet a churl. Meet that churl!
Mighty mythical beast.
Okay, well, that was the end of that. Okay. Is it gonna teleport? Okay, it teleported me to the closest one. Good. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Come on, Aether. Let's go. Hey, have you brought it? Sure have. Let me have a look. Well, it's passable. Now let me tell you something, a little something about the Fatui. Okay. We Fatui hail from Zapolyarny Palace. We hear the commands of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, and we inherit her will, enacting it throughout the land. The 11 strongest among us have been granted the title of Harbingers by Her Majesty. I've seen one of you assholes already, actually 2 of you. Compared to a nameless grunt like me, the 11 Harbingers are truly great figures. If you join the Fatui and prove your strength, then perhaps you might be chosen by one of them. And then you'd be on the up and up. As for me, well, I'm hardly chosen, but I am running a little errand here for Signora. But if you made me choose, I'd prefer to work under Capitano. You have a world quest. I don't care. I'm leaving. I ain't doing anything for you right now. Alright. More dailies! As the bell goes bong. I don't care. They're staring into the corner. I was gonna just leave you guys, man. I'm going up here, man. You ain't doing nothing to me. Forget it. Defeat the Eye of the Storm. I need nurture.
Let's go gather some samples.
Let's go see how Tainari works. Ba -ba 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 -ba.
Can't see?
Break a leg!
And shroud.
I mean, he's only level 20, so of course he's not going to do the greatest for anything.
Observe!
I hear everything. And shroud.
I love that line, though. I hear everything. Of course you would. You have giant-ass ears. I'd be surprised if you didn't hear things.
Sorry, pal.
Ooh, okay. That, Hold on.
I'll protect us.
You're not killing my boy.
Up to it, Mondstadt.
And step. Hi.
Actually, despite being only level 20, he's actually doing pretty good.
Can't see.
And step.
actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna stick with Tighnari for now. Tighnari does actually have a passive perk, but it's in Sumeru that it happens, so I can't show you. But yeah, just believe me, it's actually pretty cool. Oh yeah, you don't have your better glider. This one. Sabotage is slime balloon. Okay, well.
Let's nip that in the bud. One with the force.
Let's dance. And step. Observe.
Tighnari might be betraying me right at this moment.
Observe.
No pain, no gain. One with the force.
Observe. Your grand finale. Observe. And leap. Let the show begin. Observe. Observe.
Okay. That kind of hurt. Okay, so the last one's there, but I'm gonna teleport here. I just blame the fact that Tighnari's not high enough level because if he's built right, he can be absolutely useful. I didn't give him artifacts. Oh, that might be the problem. Fast equip, quick configuration. It's good enough. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of defense stuff on him, but that's fine. Now he actually might be able to do things easier.
Keep up.
I didn't actually think about that initially. Oh, and the voice actor for Tighnari, Zach Gordon, did you know he's like an actual legitimate fucking musician? It's actually pretty cool.
Mighty mythical beast. Can't see? I'll uproot you. Oh.
Unleash.
And shroud.
And step.
I did it! Yeah, see, Tighnari did a lot better now. Yep. Yeah, I know about that. You don't need to tell me, game. Alright. So, we can now go to Mondstadt and take our rewards. And yeah.
Ad Astra at. Thank you for completing.
Yes, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. And that. PP18. Awesome possum. Okay, so do a quick teleportation to a statue to heal Jiaming. And then we can continue. Hooray! Okay. We're gonna be Tainari again. Reputation reward. Let's go to Leoba. We gotta go this way. Go, Tainari, go!
Keep up.
Hello. How's my reputation? Only 100. Actually, 100 is not that bad. I think, like, for Inazuma, unless they're, like, big important ones, you only get, like, 20. So, imagine how much more slowly it builds there. I mean, there are more quests there, but I hate that there's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you more quests, but we're gonna nerf the rewards, so you still can't utilize it. Okay, so what can I do now? What is this? Chapter 1, Act 4, the prelude. Oh yeah, so it's gonna want me to do this. But as I said, we're gonna do the teapot first. So this video might end up being a teensy bit longer than intended, but, you know, it's fine. Ba, 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 ba. What are my gems at? I have 205. That's good. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's good. Stardust exchange, actually. How much longer do I have for this? Okay, so 4 days as of this recording, which is the 25th of February. So yeah, it resets at the first of every month, so. Hold up, Madam Ping. I totally just remembered. Mofo needs a better bow. What does she have? Yeah, the Favonius Warbow. Well, now Tainari has that, because why would I give that to fucking Faruzan? My glutton for punishment? Increase damage against weak spots by 24%, and defeating an opponent restores 8% HP. I mean, that one would be nice, and I mean, I can use this and refine it, but compare. No, what I have now is better, because energy recharge is actually going to help him a lot. Can I enhance this further? I can! Let's ascend it right now. There we go. So now he'll be a bit more useful. Alright. I feel better.
Children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Uh-oh.
What is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Lea Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
I only did as I should.
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it.
God damn it.
I traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell. I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you.
Understatement.
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
What's subspace creation? I know what this is, man.
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
A trinket, you say?
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
I can help you look for them.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need.
Oh, yeah?
What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
And what are those, if I might ask?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. Almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Who's this child?
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor?
Magic!
I bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Ah, allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei.
Oh, God.
She's the one helping run some errands for me.
Yeah.
Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records.
Yeah. Are any of those records about me being accused of murder? Because, I want to contest that right now, because that was bullshit.
You became one of Liue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui.
Okay, so they documented that they accused me.
Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame.
A shame?
A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
Aw.
If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you.
Well, then you should have shown up.
Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
I don't wanna.
Oh, yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yen Fei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yen Fei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Are you really an Adeptus?
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Okay.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find.
Is that
Oh, shit.
so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Legal shit?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Krusell. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
We'll come with you.
Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Well, she's the first one to do it because, like, the other Adepti don't have to really give a shit about legal ramifications. They're Adepti. They could probably kill random people and likely get away with it. There's so many world quests! I'll pick them up later! Again, it's gonna be some time before I jump into, getting to Inazuma, so I'm not really worried right this moment. Crossel!
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Chiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Chiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Chiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
No ambiguities here.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Chiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off now.
Okay, well... Fun times. So, I'm gonna go this way. Running, running, running. Ma'am, where are you? Ooh, there's a chest! Distraction!
Why is there a chest here?
I didn't expect that response. That was great. Where is she? I hate this.
Keep up.
Oh, you're above. God damn it. I wonder I can't find nothing.
Wanlin Bookhouse. Guess this is where we go to buy books in Liyue.
Buying or not?
Should we ask here if they have a copy of the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide? It's super duper interesting.
That's tied to a different quest that we aren't doing right now, which would include talking to this individual right here. I'm watching you. I'm watching you, mofo. Watching you. Okay. No!
Feel free to look around. There's no obligation to buy.
Okay, this is part of that quest that I wanted to ignore, but it's gonna force me. That's one thing I hate about them taking certain quests and packing them so close together.
We're looking for the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide. Do you have it in stock?
Sorry, dear. We stopped stocking that a very long time ago. It just wasn't selling.
Huh? But the Mondstadt volume was so interesting. Bummer.
The thing is, the author made it too personal, and the result wasn't really much of a guide. It barely sold any copies, and the few travelers that did buy it made complaints afterward.
Too much passion, not enough clarity?
Well, that's a shame. The Mondstadt volume was a good read, even just as an adventurer's diary.
The fact remains that I don't have it in stock. If you must read it, try your luck at Chang the Ninth's place.
Who's Chang the Ninth?
A dude!
A book collector who lives in Qingse village. He's a complete grouch, but he will behave himself if the conversation is about books. He was a regular customer here back when he lived in Liyue Harbor, and I still send him the odd out-of-print book or two every now and then.
Did somebody say out-of-print books?
Hi.
Is there a chance that Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd is also in his collection?
Who are you?
Apologies, my liege. Where are my manners? My name is Sing Cho, a humble literature enthusiast who happened to be passing by.
Singcha.
Since you and I are both in search of lost books, what say we travel together to Mount Qingse and pay a visit to Chang the Ninth?
Makes sense. Please lead the way.
My pleasure, fellow book lover.
That's nice. Can we just... No. I'm doing another quest. Leave me alone. Excuse me.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Excuse me. Are you Jichao?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Mr. Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins. I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why did you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me, but now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say we can help?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Jichao somehow.
That would be a little unfair to Crossell.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Jichao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not?
Find the hairpins!
Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please. Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a huge sum of money, though.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch. Finest quality jade.
Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossel's.
Okay. Alrighty. Crossel. Mofo.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
Great.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossel.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Didn't the quest? What do you mean? Pressing deadlines, this one. Invoice to Nervous on. Oh boy, now I'm in trouble. Clerk Zhao told me to give this to you. Huh? She needs me to port all the ships in the harbor. Or port. Okay. This actually had started keeping track of this at the very start. But then there's also the imported goods report, the reports on crew information, the customs report, sorry. There's just so much to keep track of. Report this, record that. I simply can't keep up with it all. Do the most important ones first. I think the reports are all of about equal importance. I think the reports are... Okay, yeah. There's no time. I know, so I'm trying my best now. I'll see if I can finish all the reports. Oh, son of a bitch. Prioritize you. Okay. I always tell myself I should, But I just get so busy I forget to prioritize. There's so much work to do in the harbor, too much. I thought about it, but there's just not enough time. I have to work harder. I'll burn the midnight oil tonight and tomorrow and the day after that. See if I can finish recording all the ships in the harbor. After all, this was the very first report I started working on, so it shouldn't be the last one I submit. Whatever. Okay. So now... Jiangzhou. Hi, Charlotte. No, that's not quite right either. Here you go. But the plans for Lantern Rite, which is over. I'm writing that right now, but it feels like it's missing something, so I'll keep editing it. Everybody needs to do their very best for a big festival like Lantern Rite, so I can't submit this plan just yet. It will never be perfect. That may be true, but I should strive for perfection, no? Submit it first, you can change more later. Are you joking? Lantern Rite is a serious festival. There are procedures. Oops. Then keep thinking. Yes, give me a bit more time and I'll be able to write the perfect plan. Now the people who have been eagerly looking forward to Lantern Rite. No one will be satisfied if it's just a touch-up version of last year's plan. Don't try to stop me. I still need to make some changes, need to plan the perfect plan. I don't really even care. We're back to the clerk. That's the wrong button. Press the B button. Ma'am, these people are stupid. You're back. Nervazan and Jiangzhou just sent me a message. Only one of them promised they would submit their work on time, but I guess one is better than none. As for the other one, I'll just have to continue to press them. Regardless, I'm grateful for your help. Take these as thanks. Yeah, if you know the actual responses to make that better, then, you know, go ahead and do that, but I don't care enough. That quest, like, completes regardless of what you choose, so... yeah. 'Cause, I mean, your commission was just to, you know, tell them about stuff. Let's go, teapot! I want my teapot.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
Not Smaragdus Jadeite? Really? I already know this! The granny talked about it! Contact with the Jadeite is harmful to humans! You can't inlay that in hairpins and expect, you know, no negative results? Granny said it!
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
No, you stupid fuck.
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
A very vivid description.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
She's like the equivalent of a lawyer. You kind of need to be able to do things by the book. I mean, if you're any good at your craft, you have to do it by the book, so yeah. Anyway, if I had one Mora for every time I hear the word contract.
Feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
You don't have any. Such an ordeal.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Yeah, probably a boring one.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
I hate that guy, though. Oh, whoops. Enjoy being wet, Tainari.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine merchant named Crossel, you say?
That's not the name that she said, but okay.
I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Hooray. Look at that debris. Observe.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
Smaragdus nephrite?
Yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot.
She just told us to.
So, did you find anything?
Not a trace of elemental energy.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
It's your fucking job.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't Chateau tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yenfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
Okay, it's this interesting aspect called none of your business.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
Dude.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Legal advisor.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand understand and impossible to finish.
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how Adepti become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
You like reading boring things.
That's that then. Let's go look for Singsi.
Okay. Yeah, this quest is actually really boring, but no. The teapot is technically worth it.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Krosel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Singsi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Krosel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Singsi. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
Must be the nature of legal consultancy.
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
Baiju?
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Yeah. Ran away! If anyone likes the playstyle of Baiju and everything, do you want to explain how? Because I tried playing his thing, like I did his story quest on my main account, and it was bad. I had a miserable time. He moved too slow, and he just wasn't doing it for me.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs.
I don't need her.
And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 mountain treatises. The Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus jadeite?
Yeah.
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document, won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Not our problem.
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Yay! You gonna be trouble.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question.
This is your job! Only a testimony from the expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve. Okay.
This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
Evidence from Mingxing Jewelry.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
Evidence from Boo Boo Pharmacy.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
Again, that's legal consultancy for you.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
So why did you charge Zhiqiao such an extortionate rental price? Jesus Christ.
If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Ms. Zerchow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Juqiao, you...
What a wholesome lady.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossell come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
It ain't our problem.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yes, though there were some twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
We don't need them.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution.
Can't say I've ever met an adeptus like you before.
An adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
I think there's more than just reason involved here, Paimon.
Well,
Okay.
since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit.
Yay!
I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
Alrighty. Now to see the granny. To get our lovely teapot. Well, potentially a lovely teapot.
Keep up.
Granny! I'm coming! I have your thingy. Where's it? Oh, there you are. Exist!
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite?
We were, thanks to Yunfei.
Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis.
A truly unique adeptus.
Ah, indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change.
Sure.
Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Ah, Liyue is not the same place I once knew.
Granny.
All right then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Yes, my teapot.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
And how long does it take?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Thanks, Granny.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
The same way we went into hers.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
Hooray! And I've unlocked the teapot. Quest objective is in your teapot. Okay, well. Get it. Click to place. That's weird. You don't even need to do that. Okay, so. Obviously, these locked ones, you need to set up something particular. So you can select a realm layout. Whichever one you feel like, really. You can only unlock one right now. You have to upgrade your teapot to get any further ones. So I'm going to choose a floating abode. You don't even need to place a teapot to teleport into it, by the way.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a great big house in the middle, too! Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it.
Go dig a burrow to live in for now, I guess?
Hey! There's a perfectly good house right over there! Why should Paimon have to live in a hole in the ground?
Because the house is entirely mine.
Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house?
We have to build it!
Wait a second, what is that?
Oh, whoops. Yay!
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
You certainly look the part. Wow, fat shaming.
So you're the little helper Madame Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night.
So, what's a teapot spirit exactly?
Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Blueprints!
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
If the capacity holds.
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
Oh, that sounds disappointing.
Golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
How very strange.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm.
I mean, the first character I can think of that has anything resembling golden eyes would be Zhongli.
If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not even gonna read all that. So... So yeah, you can summon that anytime, whatever. You can craft certain things with certain items, so it's showing here, like fabric, using silk flowers. You collect the stuff to create things, and yeah. F7.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process.
How do people break the rules in... You know what? It's fine. I got it. Okay, so... You just have an item, take that. Put it wherever you feel like, essentially. And it tells you the actual confines, so... Yeah. It's like that. And confirm. And that's how it sits. And this little load thing tells you essentially how much you can fit in. Any item you add in here does contribute to your little adeptal thing. I don't really want to have Paimon's thing, but I'll just put her in the corner here. One of those. You can put it around here, I guess. Works for me. Oh crap, I forgot how big that thing was. I'm gonna put it there, I guess. That works. Main building is, I mean, for the main building, even if you have other ones, you can only use one main building at a time. So, hit save, exit, and there you go. Now my little thing is built up. You arrived quickly. Good, good. What's up? I asked you to come here so I can give you a little gift. I do not know if I told you before, but these abodes are private spaces created by the Adepti for themselves. Most Adepti will use certain methods to seal their abode away from the rest of the world to ensure its purity and to avoid being disturbed. Afterward, the Adepti would create a realm dispatch for those they wish to invite into their abode. This realm dispatch bears signatures of the abode's adeptal energy and that of the Adeptus themselves. As such, anyone who has this dispatch can enter or exit the abode freely. Before, this abode was in an incomplete embryonic state. Those whom you invited into it would only have been able to exit and enter together with you rather than remain for long periods. But now, well, take this realm dispatch that I've created for you to and hold it in your hand tightly now. What should I do next? Don't worry. You need only hold this dispatch and it will draw some of your energy out and into it. Yes, I heard Ping mention that you have made friends in a great many places. As such, I suspect that were we to distribute one dispatch to each one of them, you would be here making dispatches for a long time. As such, I have made some modifications to this dispatch. All you need to do is tap the palm of the person you would like to invite lightly with the dispatch, and your energy signature will remain on them, allowing them to enter and leave your realm with ease. Huh, it's almost like a marking, isn't it? Huh? Well, sort of? But why did you have to put it so weirdly? Well, here's the realm dispatch. Go forth and invite whoever you wish. It seems that this place shall become lively quite soon. Kill! So, yeah. So, you don't actually have to do that direct interaction kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. So, companion. So yeah, any person that you have in your party, or like in your collection of characters, you can bring in. So, right now I can only put one companion in, and you can increase their world, or not their world rank, you increase their little companion friendship rank thing. When you get it to 10, you get a banner that's reflective of that character. So, we're going to... who do I want? I've already seen Jiaming's dialogue in my main account, so we're going to go with Tainari. You can stand right here. Save. And there he be. So let's see what he says, because I'm curious.
Hello there. I could hear you coming from miles away.
How do you like it here?
This place has a peaceful environment and a wonderful view. Very pleasant. Perhaps a little too pleasant. Look, I've already mapped out an itinerary of my stay.
Are you conducting research?
Half and half. I'm just wandering around here and there, observing various flora, as I always do. This is equal parts research and normal life. But I should probably take a more relaxed approach while I'm here. I'll only plan 60% of my typical itinerary.
60?
Should you need me, come find me anytime.
Okay, dude. Whatever you want. So, because I've done some stuff, I can claim more things. This little icon here indicates that it's a blueprint that you have to interact with.
The value of knowledge cannot simply be quantified in monetary terms.
Whatever you say, dude. So yeah, it shows up here. So you just hit use. So now I have the ability to craft those and use them at any point I wish. So. Alright, so... That's that. Oh yeah, and being in the teapot makes it count as it makes it count as the as like being in co-op, because you can invite people in.
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will feel just like home.
Okay, trust rank. So build some money every so often. There you go. And it tells you what you get for each thing, so you get a lot of gems overall. Oops. So it's that. And create furnishings, so all this. These two items here were from the Lantern Rite event. So, oh yeah, and this section is your wood conversion thing. So let's say, for example, I needed a birchwood. Use that. And here's the items that I can use to create this, and I can only create 50 of each type of wood each week. So here's how you make your dyes. So you can use silk flowers. At the moment, that's all that there is. If there is any other things, this will show you. So red dye. Here's how you make them. So you just kind of prioritize based on whatever you feel like. For the yellow dye, I think you only ever need to use berries because there's so many berries and you barely need them for everything. So let's go make 30 of those. That's just basically how it is. There we go. And this, pay attention. This one tells you that it makes 10, so I only need to use like 30 of them. Yeah. But I'm going to do 10 just to be a little overkill. Okay, so now I have the required items to create stuff, so you hit create. Anything that has this little icon, it gives you a certain reward. So this one here is going to give me 90. This one will give me 60. And oh yeah, I forgot. When you build things up, you'll get more. And then you either wait the timeline, or you can use this Vial of Adeptal Speed to instantly finish. Depending on the characters that you have in your party, you can get certain additional rewards. As an example, if you have the character Kaveh in your party, he's a 4-star character, so when you wish on the banner, it is inevitable that you will get him eventually. Certain things that he builds, especially if it's like actual architecture, you get some of the items that you use to do the building refunded to you. So, and for the Vial of Adeptal Speed and everything, in the Realm Depot, you can eventually buy like 5 of them per day. So, yeah, well, if you're maxed out, you can buy 10 per day, but for starting, it's 5. So I should be able to create just about everything. Come on. That one. Yes, it's recommended that you only get the reward if you make it once. So if you want to do extra after that, you're not going to be able to. Oh. Now that I'm at trust rank 2, I can do 2 at a time. I do not have enough of this, so... Actually, I want to make... Okay, I need to convert this anyway. And another thing is, if you need a certain type of wood to create an item, you have to find it in the wild first, so... So it's another circumstance where the interactive map will be quite helpful. There we go. That's done. We'll create that. Collect it right off the bat. And if you can stick to getting predominantly, like 4-star items, I highly recommend it. I need this for wood. Okay, so create that one and create that one. And because I am out of the adeptal speed, I will have to let that sit for 16 hours. My trust rank has gone up. No, I get 10 more speed. Okay, well, I'm not gonna waste it right this moment, but yeah. And this, if you start accumulating, it also contributes to, you know, strengthening the friendship. Right now, only Tainari can be in here, so...
If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
Hooray! So there we go. Any adjustments that I make to the teapot from here on out, I will do off screen because when it comes to like designing certain things, I get incredibly indecisive. Like you could technically just kind of slap down whatever you want just to get the point and be done with it. I want to try and have, you know, somewhat of a flow for it. Like right now, I just put random items just to do the quest, but you want to try avoiding that as best as possible. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention. You can enter the mansion. And yeah, this counts as an additional area to build, so you can build the appearance of that. You do want to factor in that there's different rooms, so when you're in this menu, up here it shows you. This one's on the top, on the upper floor and everything, which doesn't really have a whole lot for you to be able to do here. But yeah, and the decorations change because some of the stuff isn't for outdoors, it's just for indoors. So yeah, you just kind of build things based on whatever you feel. But do keep in mind, if you overload things too much, you can't even put companions in, so... Oh, I can put a second companion in here. I'm gonna put the second companion outside, though. So I will place a companion, I will talk to the companion, and then I will call it for the video. Because, yeah, it's long. Call companions, because I don't have anything good going outside right now. Where do I want to set them? I'll set them around here. I will put in... Not well, I was trying to look at the characters. Actually, I'm gonna put Yumming. He's a lovely boy. I'll put him here for now. Eventually, I will have them indoors, but... Alright, let's talk to this boy. The little ... means that they have something that can be said. Once you build their...
Hey, buddy. Good to see you again.
Once you build their friendship up and everything, there will be more dialogue options, but right now they're too low.
Oh, this place is dope. And so huge.
How do you like it here?
Are you kidding me? Isn't it obvious? Well, I don't know how you haven't noticed, but I totally love it here. I mean, you built this whole place from the ground up. How cool is that?
I didn't...
To get specific, though, here's 3 reasons why I dig this place. It's fun, chill, and I can sleep with both eyes closed.
You adorable baby. So, in a word, it's dope.
You got that from me, didn't you?
You're the only one that says that word.
Anyway, look, I want to level with you. In my mind, there's a fine line between graciously accepting the hospitality of your host and being a leech. Now, I know you won't let me pay any rent while I'm here, because we're friends and all, but I will at least insist on making myself useful. So if you catch me cleaning or gardening at any point, don't try and stop me.
I couldn't possibly make a guest do my chores.
Ha! Knew you'd say that. But if all I am is a guest, does that mean you want me to treat this like a hotel?
Go ahead.
Or would you rather I made myself at home?
Shit. Of course.
Okay. So do you have any objection to me cleaning up after myself while I'm in my own home? I'll give you to the count of 3 to raise any objections. Ready? 3! Okay, great. No objections. I'm glad that's settled.
Motherfucker. Okay. Oh, my baby boy. Alright. God, so many rewards. Too many things. Okay. Fuck it. That's it for the video, so... Oh, man. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like my content, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you'd like to support me further, you can commission me to do some digital art for you, or you can support me on Patreon. Until then, I will see you guys later. Toodles!